Recording. Recording on. We'll do the dread intro.
Betwixt the raising of the undying emperor and the great planar war that shook the heavens, there was an age of contradiction, where cannons won kingdoms and muskets kept the peace. A brave few won the hearts of the conquered and conquerors alike. Of these we speak of the decline of the great kingdoms and cultures under the heel of empire. Of those we speak of gladiators and the untold thousands that worshipped them. Of this, an age of glory, where kings would be slaves and a gladiator would be king.
We need more tears. Less camaraderie. More sheets, less spread. Weird. More defeat. More presents. Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah, I keep on forgetting. Okay, let's get this started. Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Dread and Circus campaign, season 3, episode 17. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by Mark and Adam. Ahmed will be joining us later. How is everyone doing? Let me unmute your faces. I've had some caffeine.
yes, you did. Just stick it in my veins.
No, right in my veins.
I am sore from yesterday's stuff at the gymnasium, and I've got beef stewing downstairs, and it's taking too long. So,
like, as in you ate beef and it's stewing, and it's
no,
taking too long?
I've got it
Okay.
in a pot downstairs
Okay,
with some onions and some like HP sauce, getting ready to go in my belly. Because I've been putting stuff in, but it's like, I'm going to have this grand plan. And then it's like, you get the recipe out and you're like, huh. 4 hours doesn't seem like it'll take that long to make. I eat more than it once every 4 hours right now, typically. Like, I'm eating every 4 hours. So it's going like, I'm hungry now, I'm going to cook this, it'll be 4 hours, is like a horrendous idea.
I'm having fruit.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
No.
I had a 3-hour nap, so.
I'm jealous of your steak and your 3-hour nap. No, we had a lot of fun this afternoon. Turn 3 of the coalition went well. Some stuff happened. I realize I can't tell you much because you're not supposed to know. You're probably
it's one of those, like, tell me more.
Not supposed to know, but tune in.
Yeah, exactly. But watch. Increase our view count. It's only 75 average concurrence that you need for partner. Well, yeah, that's gonna happen.
Apparently,
What?
You want me to log out and then start doing this so I count as a viewer?
No, I'm just joking. I really enjoy what we do. And I'm glad we can share it. But it was a lot of fun this afternoon. Yeah. Well, I'm saying.
So I'm not certain. It's an and. It's a lot of fun this morning, not but. It was a lot of fun this morning.
Sure. Caffeine, weep.
I'm thinking about that. I got a stoosh of energy drinks downstairs. I might snag one.
So, Mark, what's new with you, man?
Not much.
I believe the nap was new.
Yeah,
Get a brand new nap.
I don't usually get those in.
Can you guys help me summarize what happened on Thursday?
We role-played the awesomeness of just, like, playing
Everything.
fun characters.
What did Ashoka do?
Ashoka made friends with the coalition.
Oh, that's right. With what is his name? Leo Laram.
Yep.
Met with
Friend.
Leo Laram of the coalition
And I would like the
Of the
stream to
Black
remember how that
Crucible.
encounter ended when you're spending your villain points.
Leo.
Sound with the brand new purchase of a high quality magical retro gladiator. Very experienced.
You may as well have painted a lemon on his back.
And purchased a Tempe gladiator from the Conclave. All the C words. Okay,
Yep.
what else happened?
Then Sid
Spied on Ashoka.
Yep, and went to see Vogel.
Later spoke to Vogel. Magnus had a strange dream recounting the events that precipitated his incarceration. Use big words today. Just not be able to spell them. Oh, I did. That's a $3 word, I say. Don't like the cut of your jib around here, boy. What else? You arranged some fights.
We arranged some fights. Zed arranged fights. And Phineas.
He didn't do much. He was just cleaning up.
He was doting. What did? It should have been a Mark-centric scene.
I think he kind of passed on some of them, and then had a nap.
He did have a nap. I remember the nap.
He's like, I'm not involved. He's having a nap. I'm like, it's late at night. Whatever.
It's been a long day.
The one time at a con that I've been
Played till like 2 o'clock in the morning.
I know, the one time at a con that I've been recognized, it was, hey, you're the guy who DMs for the people who take naps on stream. And I'm like, oh fuck that. And this is like early on in Legends. I'm like, you know who we are? And like, yeah, we make fun of you. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, great. Fuckers. All this work and my players like not because they don't enjoy what's going on. I understand, it's just they have hectic lives and children and all sorts of energy sucks. Oh fuck. But the amount of time we spend
a few winks on stream.
right.
1 or 2, that's all.
What do I get mad? like what's funny? Shh, Lucas is trying to have a nap.
You're definitely the old guys.
just sort of nodding off. Oh, fucking stupid. Hey, roll our hit here. We're apparently not that far off from that. Oh, fuck, that's funny. No insults. No naps for you. It's D&D time. No naps. Fuck. You know how great of a game it would be if I start taking naps. Just Ahmed tootling around with feats for his brawler. While Mark's the couch and Adam's baking steak. Oh, fucking hilarious. I love you guys. But I hate you guys, but I love you guys.
I hate you guys. I love you guys.
Right. Oh, fuck. Yeah, there were a few fights that were set up. Just looking at my notes, and I think that was the kind of summary of the game.
It was just to ease us back into the whole flow, man.
Ease us back into the whole flow, indeed. It looks like we finished turn 4, and if we want to compare that to where we left off with the other Ludus, unfortunately, the other Ludus is a week behind, but that's okay. The tournament does start in turn 5, and the tournament goes like this. It's week, break, and then week. So Baraktar might not be fighting all the days of the tournament, but it should be done by week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That makes sense.
There are a few people in that lineup that I might have heard about while I was catching the tail end of that stream.
Yep.
Beric Tarn is fighting one of those people that might be like less good at not killing his opponents. So let's hope that he fights in the second week, because if there's a fight in the second week, then there's a chance to no more Beric Tarn.
No more Baraktar or no more Wazrog?
Oh, there's probably not going to be a Wazrog when we're done. I mean, there might be an accident somewhere. And I'm pretty certain that if we tell Arlen that Wazrog slew Beric Tarn in a tournament, especially if it was a post-end-of-fight type thing, Wazrog ends up, someplace very horrible. We'll leave him in
Could
one
you
of the
imagine the doom? Hey guys, yeah, we lost one of our gladiators because somebody was an asshole. Can you imagine the Doomsday characters showing up to
Oh yeah, just to fix it.
just to fix the
we're here to
situation?
fix it. We're restoring
Hey,
balance.
Murgovane, we've got a job for you. There's a guy who murdered our paladin. I know Demon Lord is a fan of Wazrog.
Oh yes.
But we will see how we get to that. So we might actually start the tournament, at least the first week of the tournament, tonight, because that'll take up a little bit of time. Damien is not in Vatapole yet. We've got one more week. Currently, I think Damien is still adventuring in the timeline. Now he is helping train some people right now. I think Sam was the one you were helping train, or
I think so.
Sam did get trained.
Yeah, probably Sam. I think Sam and Ugg or Damien and Ugg were helping.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are in Terra's Lean right now, but you haven't quite teleported to Vatapole. And of course, I am looking at their Ludus sheet, which is in a slightly different format than the others. Okay, get this on screen so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, let's plan turn 4. Ashoka, what are you up to? I've got diplomacy with Commissioner, which you finished.
Yep. This week, I want to...
And I think we failed at the event again, so I think it's 80%.
80%. Yeah. All right. Ashoka, as his role-playing encounter, would like to have a chat with our illusionist friend.
Oh, the illusionist that doesn't like Phineas.
Yes.
His name is...
Probably more than one person in this city, let's be honest.
Lanziver.
Zanzibar, yeah.
Lanziver, okay. Because you ended up spying on him last turn, and you know...
And he's up to something.
Yep.
For the...
And then you also have an RP session with your own familiar who's requested a scheduled meeting.
I don't believe we have anything in the calendar. Oh, yes, we do. It's right here. Nem has specifically requested a scheduled meeting at midnight on a particular evening. And it says surprise, however, on the scheduled meeting. Comma in brackets, a polite one. Perfect. Always good to be
I have a payload surprise.
Taylor's inside of the imp.
I just took the leadership feat. Now you're my cohort. Surprise. All right. Cool. I will, of course, attend. And for my action is going to be. I wish to support Phineas's position by rallying the sisters. So I would like to do a diplomacy action to curry favor with the sisters for Phineas.
Okay. Okay, you're doing diplomacy with the twins. Okay, cool. Magnus is finishing training probably for his level. Phineas has an appointment with the Duke. What else is Phineas doing?
He's gonna make an appointment with a lawyer to make a last will and testament. And I'm not even joking.
Phineas makes a will. Okay. I think that probably you probably want to go see the Magister. So RP
sure.
Magister, and you know him. Phineas does have some friends in high places.
Mm-hmm.
You've been supplying him with cure light wounds potions to heal what ails him.
Yep, we'll drop him off a couple things. I think I have something new for him, actually.
Opium-laced cure light wounds potion.
No, there's resist age extracts that I don't know if I.
It reduces your effective age penalties by 1 category, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what is his actual action for the turn?
Phineas is basically bringing the old man Viagra.
His action for the turn, he is going to spend 4,000 on a. He's spending 4,000. Take it off his character now. On a circlet of intellect, +2 with the ride skill in it. And High Imperial as a language. For God's sakes, son, learn the language.
Who?
This is clearly broken.
Under.
Oh, Unwin is missing a
I don't
language?
think he has. I don't think he has High Imperial. Double check.
It's just Imperial Common, right? But there is a high version of it. Did I make?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, he'd have no reason knowing that unless Phineas is teaching him.
Why teach it to him when you can just do it X-Men style? Just hang on a sec. There you go.
And are you paying the right cost for the headband, or are you crafting it yourself?
He's crafting it himself,
Okay, so it is $4,000 then.
and he's gonna fast craft it because he doesn't even need to roll.
Okay, so he's spending time crafting for the apprentice. Wow, you guys love Unwin. Sid,
What's not to love?
what should Sid spy on? I guess Ashoka, given that he's not here Alma's not here right now, you have a mission for Sid. You want Sid to go find out something. What is it?
I want Sid to find out.
Never know.
I want Sid to go do another round of Magnus checkaroos.
Okay. Are you?
Wait a second. Do we know about the man guy?
The what guy?
Goodman.
I think Damien does. I think Sid
Damien
knows.
met Goodman.
Yep.
Didn't Ashoka meet him as well?
Ashoka met Goodman. Spy on Goodman. He's gonna be doing something creepy.
Okay.
Like staring at you, just.
Flocking himself while staring at it.
Now, you do have 4 dice of intelligence and espionage.
Okay.
And then I also probably need to add... where should I add this? I'm going to add this to your facilities. But I should actually have it in your roster somewhere. I'm going to put it underneath 6. So this is Ashoka Network. Let me have a glance at your followers again. I'll assign a number.
Marty, I was just going to Unwin's sheet here. He's got High Imperial. He's already fluent in it.
Okay.
So I'll just put Avicii common.
Why didn't you tell me this, Unwin? Because you just enjoy teaching. I like it when you interact with me.
Oh yeah, he does have a high imperial.
I like
Cool.
wasting my time.
Yeah. So, why does he need a new language?
Well, you just get one with the int.
Oh, not from enhancement bonuses. You don't.
Okay. Never mind then.
Unless you get a linguistics.
Because unless you get a linguistics headband, which is so twink.
Which is also a house rule thing. It's,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah, that's how it's rolled. All right, so just the right then.
Okay.
That'll be fine. Now, when you can start fitting feats into those, that's the thing.
That's a neat idea. It's my +8 int item that grants me 3 different skills and a feat.
Yep.
Feats are approximately 10 grand or more worth in value. More combat-y, the higher it'll be. So 10 to 20 grand if you wanted to make a custom item.
Yeah, not for this. No, that's not happening today. He gets the right skill.
Okay,
That's what he
Sid
gets.
is spying on Goodman. Oh, right, and I was in the middle of looking at the network. You've got a couple 5th level dudes and a lot of people helping them. I don't know, your spy network's probably worth
Quite a bit.
10 plus the imps. 11, 12, 13, 14. Probably 14 dice of spying.
holy Jesus. Get out there, spies.
Now they're a little less like breaking into high security places and more like
No,
what's
is
the
it possible for me to set
info
them
on
on
the street?
like a district or a like a topic?
Nope. Like they can more gather information and keep watch over things.
Yeah.
They're a little less we break into secret chambers and learn all the secrets of the Duke. Like that probably send your followers to their deaths if you why do these people keep on lemming in here? A Congo line of commoners into the Duke's chambers.
Oh, that's I'm getting distracted. It smells so good downstairs. Yeah, we'll tell them to the Bay Docks area or that region this turn. I think that would be a decent what's going on over there?
Okay.
Did anybody take the old Sea God's Fury? Like, is that building just vacant now?
I think it's condemned, or it's at least like nobody's taking it up.
With all the
Oh,
devil worship or demon worship and cult stuff?
Yeah, they probably have it under like lock, and you don't know, but
Adam,
Acquiring to buying it. Anyways.
Adam, if Phineas survives the week, you want to remind me to cast Legend Lore on those damn little statues?
Yeah, the one that's turning like, oh, I hope we gave the mimic the curse.
all right. I'm gonna mark down Legend Lore because that's a cool thing that
Yep.
has been a long time coming. A long time coming. Okay, now that we're thinking of the spies, there's 6 who's got 12 dice, and then you have facilities for 4 dice that you could kind of toss into one of these areas.
Cool. All right. Let's have 6 spy on the 6 is going to spy on the new people. He wants to see how old Vigo's turning out.
Spy on coalition.
The coalition.
Okay.
And then the 4 we're gonna have the 4 like our local group will be spying on the civic arena to see if they're doing anything weird there. See if we can see if they're like tasked with maybe learning something about the upcoming tournament.
Okay.
Information.
The Ludus Spy Network is 4 dice total. Yeah, followers are... It's a neat use for followers when you're not like, here are all my warriors.
Here's man with stick. Here's man with stick.
You're just keeping an eye on the civic arena.
Yep.
Okay. Zed.
Zed is going to be... we have people fighting this week, right?
Sona is doing a weapon, an exotic weapon match. Fleas is entering the tournament. Quails is idle before her fight with Riznar.
Scarab is fighting Gracchus.
On the 6th week. And Scarab is Gracchus. He's fighting Cain.
Why does Scarab have Gracchus in his box?
Cain.
I wasn't...
This is gonna be a tough one.
Yes. Okay. So Zed is going to be.
I think Zargon has good ability scores. Like he doesn't need to be trained in anything.
Yeah, I think Zargon's up to snuff. Okay. Zed is going to be handling gladiators back and forth, I think. Will be supporting the fights and acting as our healer, I think it is. Like that's the role.
Oh, Zed is just supporting the fights. Okay, he's just being a lead.
Okay. Yep, he's gonna try to lead the gladiators.
Cool.
That's what he's being paid to do.
Anything you're doing with Droll and Nova?
Droll should be like the happiest that he's ever been. Like, why did I even run away? Even.
Yep.
So we're going to Medicus Droll.
Okay. And Nova's not happy because you sold Vigo.
Nova is.
Got 9 medicine.
We're gonna bring Nova. Nova will act as a guard with us going to for the gladiator stuff.
Okay. So Medicus 9. That'll probably just auto do it, and then Nova is gonna be a guard. I'm a guard.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm gonna quickly go grab food. Be right.
And are you officially calling Quailsy up as a gladiator now? She's no longer a Tempe?
Yes.
Cool.
Why are you snickering there, Mark?
Snickering at something.
Just it's just we're at this level now. But I got to keep reminding myself, yes, but we need these lower level gladiators. We do need these lower level gladiators
Yes.
to build them up.
Yes.
It's like, oh god, we're putting the 4th level guy in. Yeah, but it's not against the same one. It's just my building guy. You can't go back to 4th level.
But we've already achieved 11th and 10th and 12th for some characters. There's 12 through 10th. You could end up hiring like really powerful dudes. Like I know you hired Scarab, but you could go out and look for.
What we need to
higher
do is
tier.
find another thing that says Basilisk or Medusa or one of those sorts of things. Find its nest. And then you have like this source of like fighters and stuff.
Yes.
So you're waiting for the endless dungeon of progressively higher fights with random treasure.
Oh, we're gonna get ourselves a nice big warehouse, and we're gonna house a Fomori queen. And we're gonna have a bunch of ant fighters.
Breed more ants! Mentally dominate the queen. More ants! Okay, it's the most ridiculous thing I've heard in an hour. Okay, looks like we should start. Phineas, yeah, you can get the crafting done. So this is an 8-day task, which you fast craft as a 4-day task. So you spend that block of time crafting the circlet. Do you present it to Unduin in any particular way?
No, it's going in he's got a chest of things that he's collecting.
Okay.
Because this week is the meeting with the Duke, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, he's also gonna want to stop by the estate,
The Magister.
Lady Opel's estate. The Magister and Lady Opel's estate.
Okay. Let's see. Arlen, she had the nasty visit next week. Okay, so she's still at her estate. I think I plucked her miniature off because they had left, but going back in time. So you finished the circlet, and you're going to go and visit Lady Opel, Gavina Opel. And are you bringing anyone with you?
No, he's going by himself too. I can see that. No, he's going by himself.
Okay. On a whim, perhaps, you notice Damien's sister. I don't know if you know Damien's sister or not.
No, they've never met.
Okay. Okay, well, you kind of bump into her. She's rounding a corner, and you kind of like staggered for a moment as she wandered around the corner. She's a very beautiful young woman in noble finery, more of a traveling noble finery, but everything's embroidered and has got bits of silver silk in it. She's wearing a circlet, but underneath one of her arms, there's a book. And her eyes go wide with almost recognition. She glances at the staff, and then she looks at you again. Your Imperial?
Oh, yes. Pardon me. Yes. Yes, I am the Grand Mage of Vanderpool. Yeah.
She looks up at your head, and and then looks at you. She smiles. My brother told me about you. Mr. Garrett, or Grand Wizard, Magus. Not really good with titles. She smiles.
Oh, do I recognize her as? Well, she's obviously wealthy, but
Yeah,
does she
you.
have like an emblem on her?
Yeah, give me a knowledge nobility.
Okay. I think Phineas and his skills. Here we go. So slow to load.
I'm gonna help.
There we go.
Phineas is also very knowledgeable.
Ability, it's plus 20.
Knowledge knobs.
Yep. Knowledge knobs is actually probably 23.
She kind of looks like Damien.
You forgive me. Are you by any chance a Van Imp?
Of course. Anastasia, she says, is she's like, this book is way too big. You actually kind of recognize the book. It is a book on magecraft. Like, it's a ponderous theoretical tome that wizards who have too much time on their hands would write theoretical treaties, and they'd try to debunk each other's treaties. Like, it's one of these, like, not the quickest way to learn, if that's what... It's like somebody wandering around with like, papers on physics, graduate level papers on physics kind of thing.
All right.
You've read the book. You've made reference to it a couple of times. Some of it is wrong or just so theoretical that it's not helpful.
Oh, okay.
It looks like an old
if you
copy,
don't
though.
mind-
Like it's probably worth money by its age. It could be an original. It could be an original.
If you don't mind my saying, my lady, there are better books to read, although chapter 8 is particularly useful. Otherwise, completely skip chapter 10 and 12.
Oh, she says, this was the only book in my family's library that I was able to grab before we left the capital. I'm supposed to continue my studies.
Oh, we have a good selection in our library in Vanderpool. Are you a spellcaster?
Yes. She seems like she doesn't want to talk about it. I think so, is what she ends up saying. I need some help. This stuff isn't making sense.
Oh,
In fact, I was on the tower. I was on the way to the Tower of the Sage to speak to you. This is convenient. She smiles and
where was I
give me
headed?
a sense motive. You were headed to Opal's.
Oh. I got ranks, I think, in sense motive. Hang on. I may not be so easily fooled anymore, Noble.
Because of your circlet.
That's right. And because I've got a familiar
Welcome.
again. 37. I am not fooled by your words.
She bumped into you on purpose, although she honestly didn't know who you were.
Okay.
You also
Well,
caught that she might know she made note of your lack of hair as she was piecing together who you were.
So your brother told you about me then.
Yes, he says that you're actually really good at teaching people, and you're teaching some people, and you're the Grand Mage. I'm not looking for an apprenticeship, but I kind of want to figure out. This stuff doesn't make any sense to me, is what she says.
As Grand Mage of Vanderpool, it is my responsibility to expand the responsible use of magic as best I can. So I am at your disposal if you have questions, or if a quick lesson, perhaps in
French kissing?
Haha, honey. In whatever, in the physics of blah blah blah.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
she's like
What?
she listens and she seems a little bit confused. I need to understand why I seem to be casting magic when I don't mean to.
Knowledge Arcana. Why might this be happening?
Sure.
I am so smart. S.M. Murphy.
She's a sorcerer, the true bloodcasters. We just have orgies and learn more spells. You know, don't need a this book learning.
I'm rolling.
You have
I thought
a
I said you, son.
35 in your knowledge arcana?
Yes. Yes, I do.
What the fuck? Is that including your familiar helping you?
Oh no.
That auto
That's a
helps?
39.
So 39.
If the auto helps, that's a 39.
Okay, well, the familiar has to go "Caw!" in your ear. She's like, "Whoa!" As the
It's just
as
this
the
thing
ink.
of ink that pops out of his neck. Okay.
She smiles at that. Yeah, she could be a sorceress that hasn't quite figured out what her powers are yet. Although the book in her hand wouldn't help her with that. It would help her to understand theoretical magic.
The book in your hand is good for theoretical magic. It's, I suspect, especially given your brother's bardic powers, perhaps there's a sorceress element to your bloodline?
Yes, she says.
Ah.
There is. Is that good?
So there's... Oh, yes, there's... I mean, there are pros and cons to sorcery versus wizardry, but, I mean, to each his own, I suppose. And if you are born a sorcerer you are. Sorceress, my apologies.
But my ancestor was a wizard. He founded something called the Tower of the Imp.
Knowledge history? Or nobility?
Or planes? Which one do you want to think about first?
I'm gonna go with... Doesn't matter. 'Cause they're all... Doesn't much matter.
Okay, from
The one he needs to describe.
yeah, they're all plus 20s, but what context are you thinking about the Tower of the Imp?
Knowledge... I'm gonna go with knowledge nobility, because
Sure.
the Tower of the Imp and Imp,
Yep.
how it connects to the family.
Sure.
27.
Well, the Imperium does in some of their great cities have Towers of the Imp, which is where all the imps come from.
And what are they used for?
Uh,
Why do they have towers full of imps?
Messengers. Some say that they're spies. There are positions in the government where you are. They're treated like a magical resource.
Unlike ravens, they poop where you tell them to, as opposed to just pooping.
Yes.
There are positions that are assigned by the Imperial Parliament of Magic, where you are a custodian or a master of a Tower of the Imp. The connection to the Van Imps, they got their name for developing this type of magic for the Empire.
Okay.
Like the towers seem to attract imps and kind of control them, or maybe act as a summoning ground for imps. It is hellish magic that we're talking about.
Yeah. He's gonna try and approach it delicately, I guess.
She doesn't seem to know what that means. She knows that her ancestor was a wizard, and she looks like she's trying to become a wizard.
It is possible. What you're studying right now is excellent if you'll be looking to study to become a wizard. And you can study to become a wizard. There's nothing stopping you, of course. However, you must study ways of spellcraft to understand what's happening with the energies surging through your blood to prevent the spontaneous spellcasting I assume you're having a problem with.
Sure. Is there a book or something I can read?
I believe I have, yes, at the tower, we have it in our library, yes. I'll have it set aside for you. Come by this afternoon, it'll be ready for you.
Oh,
Does she have a
great.
decently good int, or
I haven't built your
She has
character.
she has no sheet, so we don't know. It's as good as
might
we
be
want it to be.
adults.
What's
An
that?
afternoon, yeah, stick with the sorcery.
You're built for sorcery. She nods and she smiles, and and kind of toodles off towards the crystal golem estate.
Okay. Interesting.
You notice that there was a person at a high window. All of the windows are barred and have that like on the main floor, like steel plates have been put up in front of all the windows. And you notice a figure kind of spying on you from the street. Everything is dark in his house. Give me a perception check.
I don't think I'm good at that yet. 26.
Okay. It was the worried-looking face of Dmitri Vaska, spying on you from what looks like he's turned his house into a heavily fortified house.
He's gone crazy inside, writing all on the walls.
But he was watching you have a conversation outside of his.
Yeah, he just kind of waves.
Okay, he just disappears back in the darkness, and you can see the curtains being pulled. There are bars over top of the windowed. He seemed frightened of you. Phineas continues his wandering to Chateau de la Plume, where you meet a goblin at the front door. Yes.
Hello. I was wondering if Lady Opel might be available for a quick audience.
Yes, you're the Grand Mage, aren't you?
Yeah. Please send her my apologies for not making an appointment.
Oh, you're the Grand Mage. I'm sure she'll want to speak to you.
Still, there's no excuse for a lack of manners.
Come in. You can sit in the parlor while I go and
He's like huffing this chest around.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
He's probably stopped 4 times and sat on the chest.
Oh, would you like some help with that?
And this big ogreish creature comes out and helps you with the chest with great ease.
Thank you. I really should have prepared a floating disc spell today.
He just nods to you and moves the chest into the room, and you're sat down. And soon that you're, and the old lady comes wandering in with Sir Paldro, and Spiegel is expertly balancing a tray with what looks like lemonade in it. Fresh squeezed lemons adorning the silver platter, several glasses. Mr. Zerug just politely leaves the room when he realizes that he's not needed for heavy lifting any longer. Oh, Phineas, good to see you, says Countess. She's in a good mood. Sir Paldro just nods to you and stays at the door. Spiegel smiles at you. It's a familiar smile, as in he knows something about you and likes you.
Okay. My lady, would you mind if I cast a spell just for privacy's sake?
All right, she says.
It will take a few minutes though.
Okay, Spiegel pours some lemonade.
Phineas goes about casting Mage's Private Sanctum.
All right. Paldro leans away from the door when he notices that there's a bit of gray haze in the in the room, and when Spiegel comes back, you notice he's poking at the door because he doesn't quite understand the darkness, and he's looking around. And
you can come in. It's fine.
Yeah.
It will just ensure there are no prying eyes, be they arcane or otherwise.
Oh, how long would this wondrous thing last?
Oh, for the day, if you care to use it.
She smiles politely. What can I do for you, Phineas?
Alas, I find myself again asking you for another favor, my lady.
She smiles. It is an interesting part of the day, being an old noblewoman. The head of her house and all, at least in these parts.
I have a decision to make, and it may not end well for me if I make the decision I think I'm going to make.
Oh? She dismisses Spiegel. It's now just you, Pauldro, and her in the room.
He kind of looks at Pauldro for a second, then decides, okay, yeah, you can trust him.
Okay, he just stiffens and stares straight forward, not at you like he's more of a guard and a servant, but he's probably knows a lot of Opel's secrets.
If something should happen to me in the next little while, I was hoping you would give Unduin this chest.
She nods slowly. Are you in some sort of trouble?
No, but I may well be. Even soon. I'm being asked to do something I know to be terribly wrong by someone terribly powerful.
Ah.
And when I eventually have to come out and refuse, I fear what will happen.
I see. This is troubles with your new position, she said.
Unfortunately, yes.
Power does have a cost.
So it seems. I also would... I know you and Arlen are very close. Has he told you about the arena?
No, has Arlen told him not to die? I don't remember.
Okay.
I was chewing and it was very loud. I don't know. I didn't hear the question. It was...
He just asked her if Arlen told her about the arena.
Ah, okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Pretend as if he hasn't.
He closes the door to make sure no one's just like listening.
Yep.
When they rebuilt the arena and added the null stones, they added something else as well. It's a box buried beneath the arena.
Okay, she's listening. She's very interested in what you're saying.
That box contains the names of all the heathen gods. Souls that die near these boxes do not head to the afterlife as they should.
Fuck.
If the name of your god is on this box, your soul's brought to the box and captured there instead.
Oh my. She spills her lemonade. Like the DM just spilled the pineapple juice all over himself.
It's my understanding that your granddaughter is not a devout devotee of the five-faced god either.
This gives the Countess great pause.
Nor is Unwin. If something should happen to me, I would appreciate it if you would send your granddaughter away with Unwin and give him this chest.
Understood.
It should be noted if one of these boxes is here, there's likely one in the capital as well. And I do not know the entire... The reach is far. Let's put it.
You're saying the Imperials put this here?
Yes.
Which
My
Imperials?
telling you this is likely tantamount to treason, but I don't want to see anything bad happen to your family or to Unwin.
Is this why there were Imperial Magi in the city?
I believe so, yes.
Oh. Well, they take their orders directly from...
Yes, they do.
Well, that is dreadful. Of those people thinking that they're serving their deities.
Certainly places a darker tone on the blood tax, now doesn't it?
You're going to face the Imperial Magi?
No, there's nothing I can do about that right now. This is about something that threatens everyone, whether they follow the five-faced god or not. The Duke is not himself.
Ah. Yes,
He's
I've
being
heard he's...
influenced by dark forces.
I heard that he's taken a dark mood as of late. Not that he
It
was
is more than a dark mood.
Oh, that...
He's asking me to decipher the workings of an artifact I have, thankfully, not yet in my possession. He's become interested in shadow magic. I'm to present him a wizard who has learned shadow magic this week. I know you have a book capable of doing this.
Yes.
But I will not subject anyone to that.
My husband was killed because in his adventuring days, he tried to dig up some of the relics of the past. Relics from the Shadow War.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
Amongst those things, well, we were pretty much chased all the way here from the Duchy of Ayed to Vatapol. Amongst these things was a book. You looked at them.
Yes.
Things that Arlen and his group now have in their possession. As I think they do. Have a look here. They have something called the Shadow Star and a compass.
Yes, I recall.
And then there is the book. I believe Widget is carrying it. He seemed very interested in it, as I understand.
Well, he should be quite careful. Anyway.
It is a dark magic that when it rose its head the last time, ate many, many heroes from many cities of these parts of the world. Between that and the fight with the elves, and an entire generation of nobility, their blood spent.
Which is why I cannot allow it to begin spreading anew.
I will look after these things and send along whatever message that you have. Perhaps it is nearing about time when we go to a different city, go somewhere else. I thought that Vatapol would be safe, but apparently not.
Please take Unwin with you. He will be a good house mage. I promise you that, and his dog is well trained.
Yes. Strange thing it is, it doesn't even shed.
Thankfully, yes. And he reaches into his pocket, pulls out the key to the
Eidolons are hypoallergenic. The more you know.
I doodle.
Here's the key for the chest.
Okay, she takes it. You know that Arlen and his group will stand against the shadows? You do not need to stand alone, Phineas. Arlen has some powerful friends, and I know that they are gathering more in Terraslene. She, curiously, that she used the old name for Citadel.
Well, perhaps we will see what happens when I face the Duke this week.
There's an old story. Of course, my husband could have told it better. That Terraslene was once named after a world.
Knowledge plates? There we go. 39?
Knowledge planes. Yeah, you think she's right. You think there is a world out there that's called Terraslene.
Yes. I might have heard. It's a prime world. Yes.
In
I've heard of it.
Draconic, the word Terraslene, I think, means something like ground silver, or the shining of the earth, mithril, perhaps. She's not wrong. There are similarities between the name.
It's highly plausible.
Just like pomme de terre is, apple of the earth.
Yeah. Apple of the earth, yeah.
Potato.
One has to question, though. Have you had an apple?
Have you?
Situations where English and its euphemisms. So if you have a ground apple
Yep.
or a horse apple, that is much different than a French earth apple.
There is a world out there, and I believe Ambrose, the subject of my husband's, we'll call obsession, either knew this or came from there.
Well, if one could find their way back there, one would certainly be safe from the Duke.
It was said that there were other empires that spanned many worlds,
Oh, I'm sure of it, yes.
and that Terraslene was less of an empire and more of an idea, a utopia that sprout upon many worlds where many mythos were raised, where silver dragons were the sovereigns.
Oh my. On a side note, she is in for some serious disappointment if she's expecting Utopia on Terraslene, because I've been watching Demon Watch, and it's not the happy place she's thinking it is.
Arlen mentioned a few odd things about dragons. I don't know if this could help,
It
but
might.
the elves of Terraslene may have some allies out there. I know it's sort of a long shot, but who better than the Grand Mage of Vadapol to prove an old lady wrong?
I will see what I can do. Yes, yes. If only I were to get in touch with the Ireland, because apparently we have no sending scrolls to learn.
You know somebody who casts sending.
The point that I'm trying to make is that as dire and dark as it will get, there is always hope.
Yes. Thank you, my lady. Thank you. He's got a bit more pep in his step. The key, chests, all that still stays.
Mhm.
I have to go talk to someone.
Take care of yourself, Phineas. She actually shakes your hand, kind of like an old lady, like cupping your hand in hers.
He bows deeply and takes her hand. Thank you.
Sir Paldra stiffens with pride, like this was a good meeting.
Sir Pauldro, thank you. Oh, and I trust... I mean, it goes without saying. Goodbye. He's just gonna say...
Yep. And Phineas goes,
He
where
goes
now?
into awkward Phineas mode as he's leaving, because he's all excited about, oh, there's might be something I can do.
You see Barrack Tarn fucking outside doing calisthenics and fucking jumping jacks and shit.
I'm going to be in a tournament. Jumping back in costume.
Right.
I did it without permission.
Well, Marty Nem wants to do the thing.
Yeah,
The thing.
I see the thing. It will happen once that character is on stage.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to go to Ashoka, if I've got time for that.
Sure, why not? Let's see what Ashoka's up to.
Realize I'm now cautiously looking at chat to see if Nemi's getting all excited, going, "Oh, this guy's coming!"
RP Landserver, RP Nem, Diplo twins. Okay, so let's shift back to Ashoka. Ashoka, that evening, Nem is there. He's acting really funny.
Ashoka does have a couple of spells running, just in
Okay.
case.
Yep.
It is a polite surprise. I promise, Master. They are well behaved. But I don't want to say much more because it would ruin the surprise.
We wouldn't want to ruin the surprise.
Oh, no.
Not keeping secrets is not a way to be very polite.
We usually keep this window closed and locked, but tonight, if I have your permission, I would like to open said window.
Please.
Okay. He crawls up to the window.
Caw-caw! Caw-caw!
All right.
And 5 ravens start flying into your house. They are perched on different high points. One of them actually is brave enough to kind of go on the edge of the table. They all caw, one after another. Nem comes crawling back up.
Master, I have noticed that there were a few errant rogues. And since there is no Tower of the Imp here in Vatapol, they are a disorganized, chaotic bunch. Do not worry.
Have that.
I have just...
Disorganized, chaotic bunch.
That is precisely what I knew you would say. So I chastised them, and I've brought them here. Meet 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Ashoka's going to be looking at them to see if there's a way for him to distinguish 1 through 5.
Sure. Let's have a look at imps. Let's see if you can see through their disguises. I believe it's disguise, which is charisma, plus 10 for
Polymorph.
shaping. Yep. Let's see if they have that skill.
Looking at my sheet, I realize that Ashoka is much better at being the disguiser than being the disguisee. That doesn't work.
Okay, the DC is 22.
All right.
Perception check to see through their disguises.
With Nem there, I make it automatically.
Nice. Yeah, you can tell them apart. One's got like a rustly feather, one's got a crooked claw, one's got, like distinguishing marks. One's got like more of a bare chest, and one's got a milky white eye. And I guess the 5th one has not that I'm going to remember all these things, but the 5th one's got a crooked beak.
Crooked beak. All right. I'm not going to remember them either, but I have a way to distinguish 1 through 5.
Yep.
What have you all been up to?
They have brought forth a secret. I said that this is the price, this is the tie that they must make to the master.
Yes.
And they will report to me, and I will report to you.
Perfect. You've done very well, Nem.
Okay, I will now learn the secrets that they've brought.
And he goes up and they turn into imps and they whisper at the imp and they play they play the fucking telephone game right in front of you.
Oh, very interesting.
Let's see. Roll 5d3. 3s are actually important secrets. The rest are just minor things that kind of help your...
Important secret.
There is an important secret. Okay. Well, we have charts for this. Random.
I'll be right back. Maybe if they didn't have distinguishing features, I would have done like the dog breeder trick of now we're getting the nail polish. You get pink and you get white and you get blue.
I don't want to be Mr. Pig. Okay. Give me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
12? 16?
Oh, sorry. These are the independents. D15.
3.
Okay, the secret that you learn has to do with the civilized house of the Grim Goblin.
Oh, they're my favorites.
What did you do with Remind me what Sindara. You sent Sindara to the east, right? Just on a ship, right? She
went east on a ship, and she is supposed to be reestablishing her contacts and basically awaiting my word. So.
Got it. You learn that the goblins of the city are awaiting the return of their fair maiden. Who apparently is a female goblin that is in the Circus of Dread. And this is angering Mama Bloodbear to the degree where she's actually killing goblins that mention her name. There's a great schism happening right now in the goblins.
Oh. Circus, eh? I'm making note to fuck with Godiva.
Shoka, spy master. Just know all the things. Get all the levers.
Does this mean I lose my balls, or is that just a Game of Thrones thing?
So yeah, the other ones are just like things that add up to like their dice are actually considered part of the 14 dice of your spy network. You could cleave them out on their own, but okay. So that is that.
That's also really cool because the region that I asked them to spy on was where the Grim Goblin, like the Goblin, were.
Yep.
That's cool.
Okay. Give me your diplomacy roll with the twins.
So I've got 14 d6s, I think.
Yep.
Oh God. 3 successes.
You are good at diplomacy, so you do get advantage on this.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. Did I count that right?
Okay. You met with one of them. They know who you are, but they're wondering why you're meddling in imperial wizardry tactics or politics when you're not a guild member yourself.
Why would I be a guild member? I'm a lowly merchant.
They suspect that you are a caster, and for them to delve any more deeply in politics, they want you to register.
Okay.
Which is what you're supposed to do, but Ashoka's been lying low for a while. I don't know 5th level spells. No.
Teleport away.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. They now know that you're kind of a player and you care about what's going on.
Yep.
RP with Nem, done. RP with Lanziver. You were leaving the house, and once Mark gets back, Ashoka will bump into Phineas. You're actually kind of going in the same direction of the tower. Give me a D100. We'll say there's a 2% chance of a significant encounter. Nope. All right, so you go to the illustrious home, and you're looking up at it. It is a sizable manor on the rise. It is pointing almost at the Tower of the Sage. He can walk out onto his balcony and look at the Tower of the Sage. You notice high up on the balcony there what appears to be a telescope that is underneath a temporary overhang. Like it's covered with a tarp.
Good.
It's got creeping ivy all over it. Well manicured ivy. There are a number of doors, small and large, along the space. It's not obvious which one you're supposed to go to, or why there would be so many entrances.
Okay.
Well, we'll say, yeah, there's one big one and two small doors.
Is there a knocker?
Yep, it's by the big one.
Okay, we'll knock the knocker.
Okay. It kind of ends up going on its own. A big face appears. You stand before the illustrious home, the big boosh says.
Yes.
Its master, the illuminous Lanziver the Great. Speak your business, or begone.
Ashoka Maruya of the Crimson Scale, here to see Lanziver.
Okay, the magic mouth disappears, seems to accept your answer, and then there's... You stand there for a moment. Give me a spellcraft.
Okay.
And a perception check.
.23 spellcraft. That's a 21, so a 40 or a 40 perception check.
Okay.
I'm better at one of these than the other.
You notice a little peephole opening, and 15 plus double spell level. Somebody is casting Arcane Eye on you. Not Arcane... Arcane Eye? Is it the one that allows you to...
Ooh. Arcane Eye is like a little sensor.
No, the one I'm thinking of is Arcane Sight.
Arcane Sight?
Yeah, somebody is peeping at you with Arcane Sight. Through the peephole.
Okay.
There is no saving throw, although if you move away... If you concentrate on a specific creature within 120 feet as a standard action, you determine its... Okay, so you're like... You could roll initiative if you're like trying to get out of its view.
Give me a second. Quiet Death probably won't help me here.
It's a neat trick.
Yeah. No, I will take it and be annoyed.
Okay, there's a flicker of divination magic that flashes from the peephole. The peephole closes. The door is opening, and you get the sense that there are quasi-invisible forms that are kind of motioning for you to come in. There are lots of tapestries that they're kind of moving behind that are kind of allowing you to approach. You do see that there are ostentatious looking, like 3-4 foot tall columns, like Corinthian columns upon which are beautiful illusions. There's a beautiful illusion of some sort of lotus flower. There's a beautiful illusion of this strange serpentine woman playing a harp with big floating wings, like big dove-like wings, naked upper body, snake lower body kind of thing. There's another one where it looks like it's a green dragon breathing fire, a storybook dragon, kind of breathing on,
Pop the magic dragon.
yeah, breathing on some brave knight that is blocking the fire with his shield. You know, like not how it actually happens in the D&D physics.
Yeah, the shield.
Like they're just beautiful illusions, and you could see that in cases behind it, apparently there is some sort of like bizarre world of getting medals for your illusions, like some artistry stuff, and there are like medals and plaques and
My diploma from the Fine Arts College.
yeah, it's but they're all specific to the illusions that he's crafted. Apparently he is showing off right away that he is an artist with magic. A door at the end of this hall where he shows off his permanent illusions, like it kind of just opens up. And you can smell some incense, and another bush appears this way, and it disappears into the.
All right, I will go that way.
Yep, you could actually hear a little bit of music coming from like the harpist and the dragon making noise, and
So, making mental note of if we ever do have to do the dirty to this guy, bring true sight.
okay. Okay, the next room you enter in is rather stark. Like there seems to be an adjoining small chamber 15 feet to a side. The walls are suspiciously tiled. The walls and ceiling are tiled, as well as the floor.
Walking into like a holodeck.
Yeah, no, you get the feeling that this is some sort of like room that if he decides not to let you enter, something bad might happen here. You do see a drain in the floor where
Fluids could go.
fluids could go. It's kind of like shower tile almost, and the door that leads into the next chamber is clearly like almost like a vault-like door. Like everything leading up to here maybe wasn't important.
Okay.
The door behind you closes, and then the big vault-like door, you could hear several locks opening, and eventually it kind of opens up. It's actually circular. You got to step through this door. It's really annoying. There's a little sign. There's a little sign that says "Watch your step."
How big is the drain?
The drain is it has a little top on it, but you're imagining a 6-inch hole pipe that goes somewhere.
So a Sid-sized hole.
6-inch, more like an imp-sized hole.
Bigger than Sid. 'Cause Sid gets to be tiny.
Oh, Sid-sized hole. Yeah, sorry, I thought you meant like Sid's head. I'm like, why would his head?
Why are we using Sid's as usual measure?
Yeah, right. Tiny bat like Sid. Yeah, Sid could pop the lid off of this drain. You kind of just look down at your shoes for a bit. You know, a magical sign just sort of appears, like "Watch your step," just as you're approaching the step. The next room is not stark. It is full of well-worn furniture, most of it built for comfort, embroidered couches and divans, nice tables full of bobs and ends, tchotchkes everywhere, floating servants, the smell of incense smoke mixed with hookah smoke, like tobacco smoke. There's a bit of this is probably where Lanziver relaxes. There's an elaborate illusory chessboard game that is playing itself on one table. There's a really colorful bird in a gilded cage off in the corner. Lanziver, amongst all of his treasures and little baubles, and probably a third of everything in here, has got some minor enchantment on it. Is sitting upon a big pillow in this kind of high stuffed chair. Smoking a hookah.
You're well received, Ashoka.
Why, thank you, Lanziver.
Do come in.
He snaps his finger and does a weird sign, and there are unseen servants that might be some sort of improved unseen servant because they're able to push the big vault door closed, and you can hear it all locking behind you. Not probably the least relaxing thing in the room. There is also an elaborate-looking suit of armor. While you don't think anything's in it, you'd want to study it a little bit more, but that might be rude. It's kind of tucked at the back of the room. It is holding a great sword kind of out like this.
Do I think it's a golem?
Give me a knowledge arcana.
No. Because that whiffs of golem. 16. It's an armor. Armor could be used to make golem, but I don't know about this one.
16. You... Second. They were called this in an old thing. I'll have to look at 3rd edition. 3.5. What book are they from? What book? Tell me what I need to know. Monsters of Faerun. Give me a second. I own this book.
So, Mark, what's the threshold of shenaniganry with which Landsver gets to be unlandsvered?
How much shit does he get to get away with, you mean?
Pretty much.
Well, I guess from Phineas's point of view, he'd be pretty, yeah.
I think Phineas is more lenient than than some others.
Yeah, Phineas is far more. Well, I guess it's his right to
it
do
is
that,
it is a construct. You know that magic will fill out the specially prepared plate armor.
Mm-hmm.
With a 15, you identify the type of construct. It's called a helmed horror.
Ooh.
And the power that sticks out to you at helmed horrors is that they usually have a magical sword, and they can be enchanted to see invisible things.
Cool.
You probably don't want to fight this by yourself.
No. I don't want to fight anybody who's not half my CR by myself.
Understood. Let's go to where you're at.
You mean verbal joust? I'll verbal joust.
Ah, yes, an old conquest. There was a wizard that I knew that crafted constructs. He went quite mad. There was a bit of how shall we say, scavenging by many wizards. I had to make sure that Lord Rustbucket there didn't fall into someone else's hands. He served me well.
It's always good to have help you can trust.
Give me a sense motive.
He threatened me. He's allowed to threaten me. That's okay. Natural one. Name it.
Okay, you think that was a reminder of that he's well armed in his home.
Mm-hmm.
What you didn't notice is that he may have been glancing at or playing with the control device, but you don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can I do for you? I must say, the people of Vatapor are quite pleased with your Ludus. They were very surprised with the spring games and how well you and your group did. I'm sorry to say, a little disappointed in your performance in the summer games. Those newcomers seem to have your number,
Things didn't go as well as they could. Second's not too bad, I suppose.
He grimaces at that.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Second isn't so bad.
He's annoyed, visibly.
Yep. I've noticed that we haven't had too many illusory aspects in the games here. Considering we have a very powerful illusionist within the city, I would have assumed there'd have been some interesting spice that could be added to the arena. Is that a choice on your part, or is that Commissar or the Duke?
The Imperials are interested in spilling blood of us non-humans. Why would I make further spectacle out of all that? Besides, I have other things that I need to do. Vatopolans are a little better than barbarians that have just recently learned how to crawl out of the muck. Why would I try to entertain them? Of course.
Most people do things to get wealthy.
Yes, well, I'm doing just fine, thank you. Besides, illusory art and artistry has gone out of style. There was a time when it was all the rage.
Shoka's now thinking of the Phantom Man's basement.
Okay.
Hopefully nobody's detecting my thoughts. We'll stop thinking about that now.
He doesn't seem to
Yep.
say anything. Oh, he's got very peculiar goggles. Like, they're goggly glasses, and you're pretty sure there's some sort of divination around
They
it.
do a thing.
Yes.
The
Yes.
The Conclave is in need of some supplemental arcane resources.
Interesting. Isn't Phineas Garrett your wizard?
He's been appropriated by the state in some sort of incident involving a madman.
Ah, yes, you heard about that, did you? I almost suspected that he had help.
I really could use my wizard back.
Oh. Interesting. What are you proposing?
Well, the Duke is going to need someone to oversee magic in the region. You are the natural choice based off of seniority, as well as casting prowess.
Of course.
Motioning back to the gaudy illusion hallway.
And don't forget towering intellect.
Of course. Towering intellect.
Give me a bluff.
There you go, Eagle Boy. Alright, I won't use my power yet. 40.
Okay. He seems to be mollified by that.
Short in stature, tall of intellect? Is this... Nom, 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 nom.
So you're saying that he's been derelict in his duties at your ludus?
He says, but like it's like you run a gladiator school, big whoop.
And, You don't want him to be Grand Mage of Vatapol. It keeps him way too busy. Where he should be focusing on magically waxing weapons and armor.
Normally we use the term enchanting, but as well as other duties.
Yes.
The potions of healing are of value.
Oh, yes. He's an alchemist. Insult to injury. And a tattoo artist to boot. He clearly is not fit for the position.
Is there a way to depose a mage without it being permanent? As in how the previous mage was deposed?
Yes. The 3 senior wizards can file a motion of incompetency.
Obviously you're one of the 3. Who are the others?
Well, the 3 senior most wizards would be myself and the twins.
What about the orc?
Ah, there is a new one. He's new to the city, but he is, I haven't quite... For now, consider me and...
He seems flustered for a moment.
For now, consider me and the twins, the senior wizards.
Is that because the orc is actually the most senior wizard?
There seems to be an argument over seniority. Is it seniority in the Arcana? Is it seniority in how long you've been a wizard? Or is it seniority in your membership here in Vatapol? And that's just some of the legalese that
I'm pretty certain the gnome wins 2 of those and loses 1.
Yep.
Right? The orc is going to be more powerful than the gnome, but the gnome has been a mage longer because he's a gnome.
Yep, and you learn basically this is one fight that he's currently fighting.
Enough about that. Incompetency. Perhaps you could help us prove that he is incompetent?
What form would this proof take?
Oh, nothing permanent, although I really won't have any use for him.
Public blunder?
Oh no, something more drastic than that. Burn down a few buildings in a state of confusion. Be stupid enough to, I don't know, put on a cursed item. A very large public blunder. Conjuring some sort of horrible creature that runs amok.
Marty's describing start an adventure for a 5th level party. The wizard's gone insane. He tore a rift through space-time, and Beelzebub came out.
Is this something that you could help with? I could make it worth your while.
It does sound like it's something that could be in our mutual best interests.
Good. Well, there would be payment in it. He just waves his hand at you. There will be payment in it, of course.
And I'm assuming a friendly ear with the new High Mage.
Yes, of course. I do not forget my friends.
It's always good to have friends.
Indeed.
Is Ashoka actually contemplating helping him or not?
No, Ashoka is figuring out how best to basically do that, but with this wizard. How do you get a wizard removed? Get him to do one of these things. Okay, we're gonna get this wizard to either do one of these things or kill him. So.
Oh, so Lan's ever going to use it on him.
We're gonna basically he's described. Here are the things that are for bad standing of a wizard.
Okay, give me a bluff.
All right, we're gonna put our lying pants on. They just happen to be brown. Don't worry about that.
He's not really good at
Sure,
sense
Adam?
motive, although he does get a
They're
30.
known for their awesome sense motive checks.
46. Those are my lying pants.
Marty's not going to bother rolling.
No, I did. I got a 30.
I'm actually rather impressed with that.
I get 2 rolls with plus 31.
Right.
You are quite devious. Your people are known for that.
Cold blood of a snake, I suppose.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Well, 50 talents? Will that be a good show of, friendliness once I'm the Grand Mage of Vataport?
Very friendly.
We'll call it a sponsorship of one of your gladiators. Or whatever.
Yes. Sounds very agreeable.
Yes, well, I look forward to hearing how you can make Phineas Gret look incompetent. And then we'll see who has the better plan.
He smiles.
Sense motive, he doesn't have a plan yet.
Sure.
Okay. Sounds one of 27.
The gnome is cooking something,
He's making something.
and it might be one of the things that he danced. He might have danced around the thing.
It's gonna be one of those or something in that vein.
Whatever it is, it's not ready yet.
To friendship.
To friendship.
There's some expensive liqueur that is poured into 2 tiny glasses, and gling, and you're tasting the liquor as opposed to getting drunk on it. It is a wonderful orange aperitif.
Oh, there's so many things we could do. We have that dose of love potion, right?
Yep.
Godiva could use a wizard boyfriend.
Okay.
Now, the hour grows late. Follow.
He waves he does his little signal, and the improved unseen servants unlock the door, allowing you out.
Follow the ribbon.
And you can see this illusory ribbon kind of gliding through the air.
Is his whole house a maze?
Well, you kind of look at the door. It's the same tiled area, and then the same illusion, but
Okay.
maybe more flair than anything.
Ashoka will bow, make his way out.
Okay, he takes a suck off of his hookah, the hookah tip, and he blows smoke rings, and you can see that 2 smoke rings, one inside the other, and then like a ship goes through the other smoke ring. He's showing off with illusions now. You're standing there, and you're sort of watching him, and then the big door locks, and
Ashoka's tightly controlling his thoughts until he gets out of the building.
okay.
And then they immediately go to, you want to see my party tricks?
Phineas, you were returning to the Tower of the Sage after your comings and goings, and you notice Ashoka leaving the illustrious home of Lanziver.
Oh, wait, Ashoka, wait.
Phineas, High Mage, Ashoka will bow deep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Enough. I have a favor to ask.
Hey, you are in the street, standing right in front of the home.
So Ashoka is going to, like, start walking and talking. We're going to do a full-on House of Cards. Like, we're walking and talking. We are walking away.
Yeah, walking to the tower, or?
Yeah, walk.
We'll walk to your tower.
Okay.
Oh, I'm glad you're coming to the tower. I have a book to get out. Apparently, Damien's sister is something. She might be a sorceress. Did you know that?
No. Is she a good sorceress?
Oh no, this is just the beginning. It seems she's casting spells spontaneously, and she's trying to understand why. I'm gonna get some books for her to read. I told her she can study wizardry if she wants to. Certainly my preference, but sorcery is actually perhaps you could help her.
Wolf!
If you were interested.
Benson, that's Ashoka, don't worry. Ashoka's
having
nice.
Well, not an apprentice. She's distinctly said she does not want an apprenticeship, but friends with another Van Imp can't be hard for you hurt you politically, I assume.
I am always willing to help out a member of the Imp family, or any favor for you, Phineas.
Yeah, well, yes. Well, I will send her your way after.
Sorry to interrupt. This is
Ashoka turns, and it's like the cold stare of good best dog ever.
Yep. I was teaching him some new tricks.
Oh, wonderful. Can it wait a moment?
Yes, he accidentally interrupted you. Like you saw this, he was chasing a ball and then woofed at Ashoka. I don't know if you heard me or not, but
I heard the woof.
There was a big woof.
I'm also used to ignoring the woofs. I'm just saying.
Unwin said, "Oh, it's Ashoka. Don't worry, he's our friend." And he just sort of stared at Ashoka. Ashoka's staring at the dog, and he pulls Ashoka off to the
Unwin,
side.
are your chores about the tower finished?
Yes, master.
Okay. Well then, enjoy your day.
He nods.
Off with you, go.
Yeah, you send him off. He was about to tell you about probably what spell he learned. Like he likes informing you of the spells he learned.
I will learn tomorrow. Sometimes it's like I'm on the phone.
No, that's fine. The adults are talking.
Yes. Tell me, we'll use Sid's room.
Okay, you go to Sid's room.
Phineas, how are your duties coming?
I finally got the tower up and running the way it should be. I guess there's probably a couple servants running around.
Yeah, there are servants and like little acolytes and people coming and going and familiars flying around. Everything is clean. Everything is orderly. There are people at the stations when you first arrive to greet visitors and to keep the public at bay. There are even minor defenses and spells that are running, making chores less cumbersome. Unseen servants everywhere.
Yep. Okay. So as you can see, things are running more smoothly now. Dues is coming in on time. I still have to restock the scroll library. There's certainly a number of IOUs I need to be calling in, but other than that, things are progressing nicely.
How are relations with Rala and Rover?
They are. When's the last? Were they? Have they? Do we?
They're. You know that they've paid their dues, and they stop by occasionally to look at the library as they're allowed to.
To the library every now and then. If I see them, I say hello. I don't have tea or anything. They don't seem interested.
Phineas, I don't know how much you're sharing with Ashoka. They have a great interest in recently. What you noticed is beasts, and this makes sense given that they've been helping out.
Beastmasters.
The Beastmaster Guild.
Yeah. Phineas is going to consider what each mage is studying, unless it's a threat to the city or the Imperium. That's kind of like privileged information that he will.
Yeah, they're into how to care for, where do they come from, who owns some, is it legal to have them.
When they start getting into the weird topics of like, what do I do with my Demigorgon Lich thing? Like, they're researching Demigorgon Lich things.
So
that's what he starts asking. Excuse me, why do you need to
give
know
me
that?
a knowledge arcana or a knowledge local. Oh, your arcana, I guess, is really
It's
through the roof.
arcana. It's always, if it's arcana or something else, it's always arcana. Rolled a 1 and got a 36.
Okay, so the last topic that they researched, and Phineas is thinking about this, is they seem to be really interested in finding out how to awaken animals.
Oh, okay, well,
Which is a topic not quite wizard. Like they were trying to figure out,
it's more of a
how do we make some of these beasts smart
Okay.
and bring forth their natural evolved personality?
Awaken.
Yes.
Awesome. Anyways, which Phineas knows. Ashoka does not. That's fine.
Yes, they're here occasionally. Why do you ask?
It would be in your best interests to ensure that they are on friendly terms with you.
Have I done something to upset them?
No. Well, possibly.
Oh. Yes, I'll try to make amends then. Thank you.
You have bluff in your circlet, right?
I do, yes.
You have bluff, sense, motive.
Bluff and sense motive. Hang on, it might be the diplomacy.
Might be diplomacy, sense, motive.
Sense motive and diplomacy.
Okay,
He can't lie. +2 to bluff.
So we can't tell him why, because he
Because
doesn't
he
know
will
how
blow
to
it.
lie.
Yeah, he's got sense motive.
He'll go, Lanzover, why are you trying to fuck me? Please don't. That's very rude of you.
That's basically, yeah, that's very true. That's
That is precisely what would be being told. All right, so it is crucial that you stay in good standings with the mages. Additionally, they are friends of Chebagast, and we are friends of Chebagast. We want to make certain that we are friendly on all levels.
of course, who doesn't like Chebagast? I mean, sometimes he smells sometimes, but given his occupation, one has to make certain allowances. But perhaps I should have like drinks at the next guild meeting. Yes, I shall have a guild meeting with drinks. It'll be fun. No fireballs.
I believe there is a drink called a fireball.
I don't know. Perhaps I should hire an expert.
Shoka blinks. It's like you're an alchemist.
It's an alchemist.
You are the expert. You're the alchemist crafter. If anybody can make
Yep,
alcohol.
you're pretty sure there's called an elixir of like dragon breath where you could breathe fire. You're pretty sure these things exist.
Phineas, you mentioned that you had a urgent favor.
Oh yes. You're familiar with Arlen the Lightbringer? The Legless Elf, yes. It's hard to forget. I need to send him a sending.
Oh.
Sadly, it seems, as I said earlier, our scroll library is bereft of any sending scrolls, and I have not acquired it in my self-help book as of yet. So,
what would we be wishing to communicate to Arlen?
Ah,
We got our lying back up because we're not trying to let slip that we don't like Arlen.
Okay, bluff. Give me a sense motive with a +4 because you know Shoka.
42.
I can't beat that.
Okay.
Best I can do is 41.
Okay.
Well, what?
Proceed.
Ashoka wants to be the communication officer between Phineas and Arlen so badly.
Citadel by the lake, where Arlen and his gladiators are currently situated, used to be known as Terra's Lean. I'm probably telling you things you already know. I apologize. Terra's Lean is also the name of a different prime material world that I've heard is ruled by silver dragons. I just want to ask if there's any connection between Terra's Lean Prime World and dragons and Terra's Lean Citadel by the Lake and the mythos there, and perhaps its foundation. You're good with words. I'm sure you can figure out a more eloquent way to state that in the limited wording of the sending spell.
So, you wish to ask Arlen about a connection between Citadel by the Lake and Silver Dragons?
Precisely,
And
yes.
another place called Terra's Lean.
Another prime world, yes.
Why, may I ask, would you ask this of Arlen?
Allies, of course.
Perfect. Always good to have friends.
Of course. He taps you on the shoulder. He still thinks you're his friend.
He is your friend, man.
Till it's inconvenient, I'm sure.
Well,
Yes, right now you are my friend.
especially as long as the Vogel is like, it is best to make him succeed. Oh yeah, he's definitely my friend.
Yeah.
Don't let him fail.
He is the Mr. Magoo of this campaign. He has no idea how helped he is all the way up.
It's kind of what it's going to be with this Lanziver thing, because I don't think it'll be just at the end, it's like, oh, Lanziver went mad, I don't know why. Oh, no magic, I suppose.
Alright, so you had your RP encounter with Lanziver.
So I will send that message to Arlen, but I really want Ahmed here for the response.
Yeah, you can craft
Yeah.
the message and just put it in there. I will put that. We'll conveniently have that sent next week when he actually is back in Vatapol, so there could be actually a face-to-face.
It's kind of...
Alright. If I survive this week.
Well, you could have a face-to-face with Ashoka asking, how do you know this?
It's gonna... Oh. Come to my table and drink the tea, Arlen.
Okay. Magnus has 11 dice. He's looking for 6 successes for his self-training.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ah.
There's only so many times I can punch a sword.
Perfect. Perfect. You RP'd with the Magister. Nope, you haven't cast your Legend lore. Nope, and you have to go see the Duke. So we're not finished with Phineas. Are any of these things you bringing up with Ashoka while he's here, or
No, he doesn't.
Ashoka will...
He thinks he's doing Ashoka a favor by not getting him involved in this shit. Whereas Mark thinks Ashoka would probably like to be a Shadowcaster.
It's enchantment based and assassin, and people have a harder time identifying your spells. That part's super cool. Being hunted or wanted for that part.
Yeah, no, it's so cool.
The Duke wants you to be a juice box of shadow stuff. I mean, a Lunchable's not my favorite role in the world. Okay, Ashoka is going to do some chit chat with Phineas, just try to get a lay of the scope of what he's doing, like just a little bit of verbal.
Yeah.
espionages.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you find out that Phineas has concentrated most of his time
Getting the tower running.
getting the tower running.
because it was a fucking shit show.
And you probably get the idea from the interaction with Undwin is that he favors Undwin.
That's good to know. He also appears to be doing a lot less drugs now.
He has seemed to straighten out. Yeah, he seems much healthier, a better pallor to his skin.